Continuing on with our tilt series, we're going to stick with the 2-on-1 for this next technique. And this is going to be for when a guy is really committing his hips to the opposite side, trying to do his best to not let us turn him with this 2-on-1 tilt. So I've got my 2-on-1. Joe's not building his hips up and I need to turn him, right? So I'm going to try to force the turn to this side where I'm really forcing, driving. And Joe's giving me the right reaction here. The only way Joe's going to stop this tilt is by committing his opposite hip down, right? I'm trying to load him up on my hips this way. Joe feels that. He recognizes the technique. He's trying to force the opposite hip down, not letting me control this hip, get him into my tilt position. We're going to use Joe's reaction here as a setup to this 2-on-1 roll through technique. So I have my 2-on-1 and I need to sell this. I am going to try to turn him the way that the move's designed, try to load him up, and Joe's doing a good job. He's fighting down, and now we're going to use his pull, use his momentum to let my body transition to the other side. As my chest is coming to the other side, I want to get my knee lined up. So I use his pull to whip my body across. My knee is going to be up by his waistband. I'm going to continue to use this momentum. I'm going to let this lock get a little long. So I use that momentum, get a little bit of whip. And now we're going to pull Joe up into our pocket. Okay? And real important here, as I transition, I'm not just pulling straight on top of me. It's like a power clean. As I transition, I'm pulling Joe up high. So chest is getting big, elbows are going out. I'm getting Joe nice and high in that pocket. And as I transition, my knees come with me. I go, I pull, and knees and feet come up. And I want this guy sitting right in my pocket, back on my chest, where I have control where I'm steering him. So we've got our 2-on-1, opponent's flat, and he's not building. I'm trying to force a turn. He's fighting his hips to the opposite side. I use his momentum to pull. That knee is going to come up by his waistband. I continue going across his body. We're pulling and now cleaning him up into our saddle. From here, I've got my 2-on-1. The hand that's closest to his arm is going to release. We throw this punch. And that punch is just a tricep extension going down by my foot. That punch at his elbow is going to swivel him in that pocket. It puts him in that good T position. And once he's here, we can go back to securing that wrist with 2 hands and elevating. And now, just like before, if Joe turns away hard, we elevate big. Joe turns into me, we punch that fist straight, we secure him on his back. Stay right there. One more right. Trying to force this turn. Joe's fighting down. He's fighting down. I use that momentum to pull myself across. Now I use it to pull him up into the saddle. And using that momentum still, we punch and we spin into our tilt position. One more time. A little bit faster now. Forcing that turn. His hips are going away. We'll use that to pull in the saddle, whip right to that position. Once he's teed up, backdoor 2-on-1, secure the position. Again, remember, if it's a little loose and I don't have my back points here, Joe's turning down hard. No back points yet. To fix this position, to get our back points, we scoot our feet towards his head, get big with that elevator foot, head scoots away from his, elevate, back to our back points.